So I want to share with you one of my absolute favourite mantras or philosophies, whatever you want to call it. And it's something that the highest performing team in history eat, sleep and breathe. And of course, the highest performing team in history are, that's right, it's the New Zealand All Blacks rugby team. Now, it doesn't matter if you're a rugby fan or not. You might be aware of the fact that they were in the World Cup final recently. They came second, so they're not currently number one in the world, but they are, on paper, officially recognised as the highest performing team in history. And they have this extraordinary set of, I was going to call them rules. They're not rules, they are like mantras and philosophies that they live by, that they eat, sleep and breathe. And there's loads of them. But I'm going to share one of them with you today. It's my absolute favourite. The Maori word is wakapapa. Now, it might be pronounced vakapapa. Not entirely sure, but we're going to go with wakapapa. And it loosely translates, or it does translate rather, into plant trees you'll never see. Whew, love it. What a philosophy to live your life by. Plant trees you'll never see. What does it mean? Well, it means it's not about you and me for a start. It's about something much, much bigger. It's about how you turn up every day, and it's about what you leave behind at the end of a day, a week, a month, a year. At the end of your career, at the end of your life, what is your legacy going to be? What is the impact that you're going to have had be? How are you going to be remembered? And of course, the problem with planting trees you'll never see, well, it's kind of in the words, as you'll have heard, is that you don't really get to see the trees. I think I've had one experience, one proper wonderful experience. It was during that first lockdown in March 2020. I was out a walk with my wife and kids, and there was a young family coming towards us. The mum was pushing a buggy. The mum let the buggy go, leapt out in front of me, put her finger in my face and went, "It's you." And I had that horrible moment where I couldn't place her. I couldn't think who it was. And she said, "You changed my life." At which point my wife looked at me very strangely. And she said, "You were my teacher in 2003. And then it all came flooding back to me. I instantly felt old for a start, but I instantly remember her name, who she sat beside. She said, "You did a project on this, and I told you I wanted to be that. So you said, well, as long as you go do this, this, and this, then you can do that." So I went and did this and this, and now I do that, and it's because of you, Mr. Oates now. I know it's not because of me, but in that moment, I took all the credit, like all of it. I didn't. But what I actually did do was feel quite emotional. Why? How often in life do we get to see the impact we've had nearly 20 years later? It's so rare. So when we do have those moments, we need to grab on with two hands. We need to embrace it. We need to shout it from the rooftops and celebrate it as much as we possibly can. But of course, what's even rarer than seeing, not seeing plant trees you'll never see is the forests. Can you imagine how much reach you have had in this world? The dots that join that you're not even aware of. You put in so much work and effort and time and love and passion, enthusiasm and drive into so many things in your life. You've got no idea the difference you're making. The reach that you have, the lives that you're touching. So see when you're having a shit day. See when you're up against it. You see if you're tired and you're stressed, and you are allowed those days, remember. Just make sure we show them the door. It's in those moments that you want to be reminding yourself that whilst you might not see it and it might not feel like it, you are always planting trees. Always. You just might not see them. You see the roots taking hold sometimes. You might see them starting to grow, some leaves, some fruit, some branches, etc. But when you are hitting your head off that wall and you're up against it, just you remind yourself, whilst you might not be seeing it right now, you are amazing, you're special, you're making a difference, and you are always planting trees. Always.